Victor Wembanyama asked Rudy Gobert about his house water filter, and that single question reveals everything about his mindset. So here's what happened. A few weeks ago, Victor Wembanyama pulled Gobert aside and asked him point blank, "What kind of water filter do you have in your house?" Not about training routines, not about defensive schemes, about water filters. Gobert was struck by it. He realized in that moment that Wembanyama's mind operates on a completely different frequency than most NBA players. Two elite centers, both 7-footers protecting the paint, but only one of them is thinking about the microscopic details of hydration systems. That's the interaction that made Gobert stop and think. Now, on the surface, a question about water filters might seem random or even trivial, but Gobert sees it differently. He's saying that Wembanyama's willingness to ask about something so seemingly minor reveals a completely different approach to his craft. This isn't about ego or flashy plays. It's about understanding that every single variable matters. When you're talking about hydration, water quality, mineral content, filtration systems, you're talking about factors that directly impact recovery, kidney function, and overall athletic performance. Most players don't think that deep. They grab a water bottle and move on. But Wembanyama is the kind of talent who understands that the margins are won in the details nobody sees. He's asking about water filters because he knows that if he can optimize his hydration at home, if he can control that one variable, it compounds with everything else he's already doing right. That's the mindset of someone who doesn't just want to be good, he wants to be unstoppable. Gobert is essentially saying that Wembanyama's curiosity about minutiae like this shows he's wired differently than most stars. He's obsessed with the process, with the small things that add up to dominance. That's championship-level thinking. When the reporter pressed Gobert further, asking if Anthony Edwards had ever shown the same curiosity about his water filter setup, the answer was immediate and telling. "Not yet," Gobert said with a laugh, "but I pray for that day." It's a lighthearted response on the surface, but it cuts straight to something deeper about how different elite players approach their craft. Edwards is undeniably talented. He's a dynamic, explosive scorer with all the physical tools to dominate at the highest level. But the contrast Gobert is drawing here isn't about raw ability. It's about mentality. Wembanyama's instinct to ask about water filters, about the micro details that most players wouldn't even consider, speaks to an obsessive approach to optimization. He's thinking about hydration quality, mineral content, how every single variable might give him an edge. Edwards operates in a different space entirely. He's more about instinct, athleticism, and playing the game his way. Both approaches can work in the NBA, but one reveals a player constantly hunting for marginal gains. Gobert's humor masks a genuine observation. The players who ask about water filters are often the ones building legacies that last. Here's what separates the players chasing championships from everyone else: obsession with marginal gains. Victor asking about water filters isn't random. It's the same mentality that drives guys to film extra hours of tape, adjust their sleep schedule by 50 minutes, or dial in their nutrition to the smallest detail. When you're competing at the highest level, everyone's talented. Everyone can shoot. Everyone can defend. But the guys who win are the ones asking questions about things most people never think about. They understand that 1% improvements across 10 different areas add up to a massive competitive advantage. Wembanyama's curiosity about Rudy's filtration system shows he's thinking about recovery, hydration, and even the quality of water he's consuming. That's the championship mentality right there. It's not flashy. It doesn't show up on highlight reels, but it's exactly how generational talent becomes generational dominance. The small details compound into championships. So here's what this really comes down to. The difference between good players and great ones isn't always visible on the court. It's in the questions they ask. It's in the details nobody else thinks about. Wembanyama's asking about water filters while others are worried about something else entirely. That's the mindset that builds dynasties. If you want more stories like this, the real insight into how NBA elite think, hit subscribe.